Hello, this is Johnny B. Bad, 6661, John F.K. Page again. Another segment of bad life decisions, and this is also trying to start over again too. After losing a job, I'll let you be the judge in that one. I'm not gonna. And there's gonna be people out saying, "Oh, you're blaming victim, blame." Yeah, they can shut the fuck up with all that shit. You ain't walking a day in my shoes. Anyway, this one was like in the teens, 2000 teens, and the teens from 2010 to all the way up to 2020. So about 2011, or actually 2009, 2010, actually 2009, my company, Logic Hydraulic Controls, laid off people because the economy was going south and the recession was taking place, and I couldn't. So they had to lay me off. So I was basically laid off for 2 years. I was trying to look for work down there in North Carolina, and I was falling behind on my rent in on my mobile home. And I didn't want to go into an apartment around there. I'd have to go back into Wilmington, North Carolina, and I didn't want to go into that urban environment. I was renting a mobile home. I was actually buying a mobile home. I was kind of having hopes that eventually I'd move the mobile home out of the park and in onto my own little piece of land where I can enjoy life in my retirement. But fucking economy always got to fuck somebody all the time. And the jobs I could have kept, I've only kept with low paying fucking jobs because of my lack of so-called higher education that you have to jump through hoops to get so you can live better, which is fucking wrong too. Affirmative action and bullshit, you know. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. And DEI and all other shit. I guess I didn't fit into the DEI, diversity and inclusion. I guess this must have gotten in the way or something. I don't know. And they make those SATs a little wankerish. Have a hard time taking tests. They're saying you're mentally weak, you know. Some people are just not good at tests. Anyway, going further on, so I packed up all my stuff, came up here to New York in my little Chevy Cavalier, which I miss. That was kind of a cool car. Anyway, had to give that up. It was paid for. I had to give it up because I couldn't afford the insurance or anything like that. So had to leave it in rot. And I wasn't going to try and drive it without insurance either. So I couldn't find anybody stores around here either for nothing. Can make inroads real quick. But anyway, so I came up here, stayed at a couple hostels. I was on food stamps, and my unemployment ran out from North Carolina. I was trying to look for work up here, and nobody was hiring. It was like I was putting my resumes in everywhere, and nobody went and hired. So that's fucked up. And then I ran out of my money, staying in one hostel, and I said I wasn't going to sleep outside in this kind of a weather out here up here in New York. So I took the last bit of money I had, purchased a plane ticket, packed my backpack in a suitcase, and took off and went off to Los Angeles, California. Slept on the street for a while out there until from 2000, I say 2012, 2000, yeah, around in that neighborhood. Then it was pretty fucked up. So I just came up to New York, over here, went out to Los Angeles for about a couple of years, come back to New York because someone threatened to call the cops on me and all those stuff. Kat Von D's tattoo parlor, I don't know what the hell their problem was. I was putting in resumes to them, and I was trying to get to know her. Maybe she can get me some inroads to getting a job around there. But you know, and they some big old tall guy, you come around here, we'll call the cops on you again. I'm like, I don't know what the fuck that deal was about. But anyway, they act real stupid about shit over there. So I figured I better not stay around here because they act real funny over there. Even when I was over there looking for work, I was pushing a shopping cart, a Home Depot shopping cart around with my little bit of stuff in it. And I was applying to jobs door to door too. And eventually I couldn't find a job that way. I was putting applications all up and down the Hollywood Strip there, the Sunset Strip, all up and down Hollywood Boulevard there. To all the restaurants, all the vendors, everywhere. And one guy got pissed and pushed my shopping cart out in the middle of the street with my stuff in it while I was trying to apply for work and filling out applications. Trying to get a job at least to put some food on my stomach and try to get a place to stay. So eventually I had to stop that because I was at I forgot the name of that Catholic church where the homeless people go on over there on the boulevard. Forgot the name of it. I think it was called Blessed Sacrament or something. They took an old nuns convent and turned it into like a little mini hub for homeless people to meet and get a meal for the day. So I eventually gave that up and went down to Skid Row, Los Angeles, and got a place there. So basically from 2010 on, I was 10 on to about, I'm gonna say 9, 10, 11, 12, lived out there in Los Angeles, California, trying to get a job out there, and nothing was panning out. I had a job there, working for Chrysalis Enterprises. There was a little community service program where you went out and swept streets for a paycheck till you got on your feet. And they also help you look for work outside of them, so then that person can slide in and take that position while they if you got a job outside, they'll also help look for work for you while you're working for them. And I had a job lined up with a tent company, and one of the fucking foremen said I wasn't working hard enough and got rid of me after I couldn't even make my 90 days there. So they got rid of me, and that's when I was working with a hernia. And I was trying to be careful of that too, and the damn stupid foreman out there, it was called something, Classic Tents or something some kind of tent company out there. I forgot the name of it. It's over there by the airport, by LAX, not too far from there. Then I said, nah, I lost my job there. All right. And then they sold, then the place I was renting a room from over there in Los Angeles, the woman sold the house. I was living in a homeless shelter down a little skid road, and I said, no, I can't stay at this homeless shelter. I went up to Pasadena, and I got in the homeless shelter up there, and they finally hooked me up with a place, almost a semi-permanent place. Thought it was going to be permanent for a little bit. Then the woman sold the house. Ms. Johnson up there, she sold the house, and all of us had to move out of the house. And I couldn't go back to the shelter. I said, I can't go back to the shelter. I just can't. So I came back here to New York, took the last bit of money I had, came back here. I wish I should have probably stayed out there. Fucking fucked up decisions, but anyway, I came out here. I was in a homeless shelter there for a while. I applied for work, got hired by Gristedes in 2013. Worked for them for about 4 to 5 years with them. And then I had to get I got a second job working at Tri Technologies. Anyway, I worked at Gristedes all the way up to 2021. I got the job at Gristedes in 2014. 13 or 14, worked all the way up there, worked with them for all the way up through 2021. Was with the union there, and I'm like, oh God. Anyway, they were fair. I worked for Tri Technologies, and I was homeless here in New York. Went to the New York Department of Homeless Services. That was a fucking nightmare. The shit I had to go through to get the housing voucher I got now that's helping me pay for my rent. Which now I'm living on right now, the voucher. And then that's about it. So basically fucked up situations all the way through. I lived in Skid Row, Los Angeles for a while in that shelter, the Weingart, the VOA. Also lived at the SROs in Los Angeles, there in Skid Row. Then went up to Union Station, homeless shelter up in Pasadena, California. So I was trying to look for work around there too. Putting in resumes over there at the library up there in Pasadena, and nobody was biting. Grocery stores, restaurants, mechanics. I worked at one place for a little while, and he ended up getting rid of me too as an aerospace spot. I was trying to get my bearings about me. I got a job there while I was in Skid Row at a machine shop, and I had to go to work with no lunch. I was trying to work a whole week without having anything to eat. I couldn't buy anything to eat because I didn't have any money on me. I was waiting for 2 weeks to get paid. And I was asking people that my brain is kind of fluttery right now. Can you count the parts for me? I was measuring them, checking them like I was supposed to. But as far as counting and all, I mean, it was like brain work, a lot of brain work involved. I was running CNC machines, and I was having a little bit of hard time focusing because I wasn't eating. And they finally got rid of me saying, oh, you can't do this, you can't do that. I'm like, fuck. I couldn't find anybody to buy me lunch either, so even on my food stamps, I couldn't stop at a grocery store because I didn't have no transportation out there, and that was kind of fucked either too. There's no grocery stores out that way. Anyway, that's about it. And I'll give you another, getting to the 20s later on, from 20 on till now, with another sketchy situation. Fucked up landlords, I'm telling you. And, oh yeah, I had one landlord here when I was working at Gristedes. It was up on Chatterton Avenue, up in the Bronx. His name was Dion, but I found out the real property owner's name was Mohammed. And he pulled a real deviant one. He would never give me receipts of the rent I was paying. So when I went to go to court, because he's evicting everybody with no paperwork, he said he'd move people into another place, keep the voucher going, and all of a sudden, here come the money ain't coming, how come the money ain't coming, and put me out of the house, the other house, and the other house was a dump. He had a whole family up in that thing up on St. Lawrence. And a Jamaican was running that one. It was a dump. Pretty fucked up. Islamic, named after the Islamic prophet, and fucking over people like that. You fucking retard. But anyway, he pulled a real dirty one too. He's forcing people out of the house. I should have stood my ground, but he would probably got violent with me and probably cut my head off or something like that. Damn piece of shit. Up anyway, have a good one. Give you another video blog here soon.